Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is a really exciting video, I'm not gonna lie, but also it's advice for you guys who have clicked on this video for the same reason that I clicked on many driving videos when I was learning to drive. And that is, you might have anxiety and you're wondering, how the heck am I gonna drive when I have anxiety and I'm so nervous all the time? I'm here to tell you how you can do it and give you positive vibes and love in your journey. Before we get into the advice, I just want to roll a few clips that I've taken over the few times that I may have filmed on my driving tests. So here are those clips. I don't know why, I've just been really stressed because, let me focus you a bit better. I had my driving test and I just failed again for the second time, but I'm gonna do a whole video on that when I eventually pass. I'll do a whole driving video because I'm telling you now, it's the hardest thing you will ever do in your whole life is learning to drive, and it's so stressful. Third test and I'm absolutely shitting myself. I don't want to do it again. And I'm filming this on my phone because my camera's over there and I can't be asked to get it. But I will update you guys when I get back. Guys, guess who went and fucking passed? I passed my freaking driving test. So I already rang my dad and I forgot to film it. And he was like, yes! But we're gonna ring my friend Cody. Hopefully she picks up. I'm gonna FaceTime her and show her.
You did it!
I did it! I passed, and I only had 2 minors.
Oh my god, Chloe!
Oh, I screamed, and then I nearly started crying, and the guy was pissing himself.
I'm so buzzing for you.
You're on camera.
Oh.
I'm vlogging the experience.
I'm not at work.
Shh, don't tell anyone. Let's do Mariam.
Hello. Oh my god, well done!
I did it!
Oh, well done, Chloe. I'm so proud of you.
I'm gonna be coming there, brooming, getting you, and being like, let's go do fun things.
Oh my god, yes, please. I'm
Finally.
So proud of you. Well done.
You're on camera.
Hey, bitches. Chloe just passed. Oh my god, yay.
Right, then we'll do my friend Tia, because she drives and she always has to drive us places because she's the only one that drives, and she's going to be buzzing when she sees that I drive now too. I don't know, she could be at work though. Hello.
You okay? Yeah.
You look overwhelmed.
Oh my god.
Finally.
I'm so proud. Well done. 2 minors, is that it?
Yeah, 2 minors.
Oh, well done. I'm so pleased.
Also, you're on camera, so
Oh, no.
your whole reaction was on camera, like, yay! I'm vlogging the experience. Alright, who next? I don't have many friends, to be honest, guys. We'll ring my mom, because obviously I said I'd already told my dad, but I haven't told my mom. So we'll ring her, and we'll get Ash's reaction when he gets home from work, because he works in Clark's, so he can't answer the phone anyway. If I was dying, what would she do? I am gonna leave this here, and obviously future me is doing a whole video on all this. So over to future me, who's going to tell you about driving with anxiety and the frickin' stress of it. Okay, so now all that's out of the way and you guys know that I passed my driving test, 3rd time lucky, let's get into the advice and just talking about learning to drive with anxiety and how it's affected me, and maybe my experiences can help you guys. I decided to drive 2 years ago and I never really was interested in driving. I didn't really want to do it. I was scared of dying, to be honest. Obviously an anxiety thing. I suffer mainly with death when it comes to anxiety, me dying, people I love dying, and things like that. So the thought of dying in a car crash really put me off wanting to learn to drive for a long time, and eventually I just wanted that independence. I just wanted to know how to drive. So I decided I was going to learn how to drive, and that's exactly what I did. And if you're in the Telford area, the driving instructor that I had was John Jervis. He honestly is amazing. He was so patient with my nerves, and we always had loads of chats and laughs, and he made me feel calm all the time. So my first tip, which I think is probably the most important tip out of this whole video, is to find yourself an instructor where you feel really, really comfortable and happy in a car with them to drive around. If you're in a situation and you have anxiety where you feel really uncomfortable and happy, you are not going to exceed or excel, is the word I think I was looking for, excel in that environment, because everything about the environment screams wrong to you. So the first thing you need to do is get a really good instructor, and it doesn't matter if you need to have more than one instructor, just keep trying to find that perfect instructor that makes you feel great. But like I said, if you live where I live, then John Jervis is amazing. Hands down, 100% recommend, just a great guy. So that is my first tip. Second tip, I guess, is don't have your test until you are 100% ready. I kept trying to rush into it. I was like, I'm ready, I want to do it now. But then I was still like nervous with parking, which I didn't really realize it was kind of like an underlying issue. And John, obviously, he's an instructor, he's a teacher, he knows. So he's like, no, you're not ready yet. But I just wanted to get it out the way. Don't see it as a thing that you need to get out the way. See it as a really fun thing that you're doing, because you're investing a lot of money into driving. To be honest, lessons are expensive. The test is expensive. It cost me over £100 every time I had a test, and I had 3. So I spent over £300 on 3 tests. So don't rush into it unless you're 100% ready, because you'll just be wasting money, wasting your time, and putting yourself through a really, really horrible experience, because when you're anxious and your nerves are going, it's the worst thing ever. So that's my little tips for lessons. Lessons are a lot easier than a test. The main thing to do is just find an instructor and wait until you're ready. When it comes to the test, so obviously, as you guys seen, I failed my first 2 tests and I passed my test today. I decided that, I thought in my brain after the second time I wasn't going to do it again, because the first test was fine. I don't know why, but it was nerve-wracking, but at the same time it was a lot easier, I guess, because I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know how much of a high-pressure environment it was going to be, and I failed on parking and also on a roundabout. I went in the wrong lane, and then I tried to cut in, and it was a whole hot mess. The examiner had to touch the wheel, so touching the wheel is an instant fail. That's how I failed my first one. On my second test, I had a man, and I don't know what it was about this man, but he made me feel so uncomfortable even though he wasn't doing anything. I don't know if my nerves were just playing up that day, my anxiety was like hitting the roof, but something was wrong that day and my leg wouldn't stop shaking. I just could not gather myself. Like, sometimes with anxiety I feel that people can kind of reel themselves back in and calm themselves down, but that day I just couldn't, and my leg was shaking, my heart was pounding out of my chest, I could hardly breathe from the amount of stress I was feeling, and it just wasn't a good time. But I drove well. I ended up failing in the last few minutes on parking again. Like I said at the start of this video, parking was one of the things that really just kept affecting me. So I kept failing on parking. And then after the second test, because I'd felt so bad in it, I said to John, like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he was like, no, come on, you've spent all this money, you've put all your time into it, and you need to do it. So he really brought my motivation back up. I decided again to do it this time, and when I was sat in the waiting room, I remember thinking, if I fail at this time, I literally don't know how I'm going to pick myself back up and do it again, because it's just horrible. Even the 10 minutes in the waiting room feels like 6 hours, and your brain is overthinking. You're going through maneuvers before you're even in the car. It's not a good time, to be honest. So some tips I have is, if you're a smoker, put on a patch so that throughout all of your tests you're not thinking about cigarettes and things like that. Your brain or your body or whatever always has nicotine because you've got a patch on your body. So that's a tip if you're a smoker. And then if you suffer with anxiety as well, use calms. Obviously, consult your doctor before you use medication, even if it is from the drugstore. Make sure that it's safe to use for you as an individual, because things affect people differently. I'm okay to use calms, so I bought calms. I don't really like using anxiety medication because it makes me feel absolutely nothing, and when you come off it, the withdrawal symptoms are vile. Like, I was hallucinating. It was a weird time. So I didn't want to have anxiety medication. I'd weaned myself off that a long time ago. Maybe about a year before, maybe less than a year actually. Not that long ago. I thought it was ages ago. It must have been about 6 months, definitely 6 months. I didn't want to use that, so I had seen everybody saying use calms, and people were telling me to use calms from my first test, but I didn't want to mess with medication. I didn't know if it was going to make me feel sleepy or anything like that, so I didn't want to mess with it. But after the second 2 tests, I was just so stressed and so done that I was just willing to try anything. So I bought the Calms, the day ones, so they don't send you to sleep. So they're the ones that I bought. I got them from Boots. They were about £5, and I did try taking them up until my test, so my body got used to them, but they kept giving me headaches and I just didn't want to do it anymore, and I almost didn't take them today, but I took them last minute and I'm so glad that I did. I haven't got a headache yet, but no doubt I'll have one soon because they give me headache for some reason. But I took 2 of those, and then I took water with me. I took a Fibre 1 bar with me just to eat before my test, so I had a bit of energy as well, and I also had a banana in the morning as well as a Slim Fast shake. So that's why I ate and drank before my test, in case any of you guys were wondering. And so I ate my bar literally just before we went to the test centre. I had my Calms before my lesson, because obviously you have a lesson before your test, and I took my water with me. And then I don't know what happened, but I was in the room, and yes, my mind was overthinking, but it wasn't stressful. It was kind of just thoughts passing through my brain, and I thought, okay, yeah, I've got this. And I was telling myself the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, you can do this. Like, why are you stressing about this so much? Like, you actually can do this. You drive all the time. John wouldn't put you through for a test if you weren't ready, and you know that you can do this. How long have you been moaning about how you can do it? And I was just telling myself all these things, because it's true, like I knew I could do it, but I was being held back by nerves and anxiety. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, but learning to drive with anxiety is probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. You have to concentrate on the road, but you also, in a test situation, have to really focus on yourself, because if you don't focus on yourself, you are just gonna have a full-blown panic attack in the middle of a test or a lesson, and it's just not going to be a good time to be alive. So you need to give yourself those little talks before you go on a lesson or a test, and tell yourself, you know, you got this, because you have. I've got it, you've got it. If I can do it and you have anxiety too, you can definitely do it. Even if it takes you longer than me, even if it takes you less time than me, you can do it, I can do it, we can all do it. We've all got this, we're in this together. It's all fine, great and dandy. So I don't know, I think that's literally the only tips that I have with driving with anxiety. We'll have a rundown on my tips, okay, before we end this video. Get an instructor that makes you feel really comfortable, because an instructor is the most important part to learning to drive. That is probably my best tip that I can give anyone. Secondly, don't do your test until you're ready, and don't have lessons till you're ready. Wait until you're ready completely to do it. I'm 24, I waited. I didn't have lessons at 17 because I wasn't ready. So wait until you're 100% ready for either test or a lesson. If you're a smoker, wear a patch so that your brain isn't thinking about nicotine, because it's got a constant fuel of it through your body. If you have anxiety, I'm guessing you do as you clicked on this video, get Calms, but make sure that you see your doctor first so that you can take them. They are one of the best things, hands down, that's helped me with my test. And that's about it. Other than that, have fun. Remember why you're doing it. You're doing this for independence, road trips, no taxi monies all the time, safety when getting around from place to place, a little bit more safer, and just have fun with it. Like, I am so relieved right now, and after you've done it, you will feel the exact same feeling I feel. The most uplifting feeling ever. I just screamed. When the guy told me I passed, I screamed, and he started laughing, and I said, listen, it's not funny, okay? You don't understand the fucking stress that I've been through to get to where I am right now. It's a stressful life. And he just was like laughing at me. But the feeling that you have after you've done it is like the biggest accomplishment ever, and you feel this overwhelming sense of like proudness. And I can't recommend learning to drive more, because it's just one of the best things I ever did. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you from the bottom of my heart so much to everybody on here and on Instagram that has constantly been sending me support. If you don't follow me on Instagram already, it's linked down below, it always is. Make sure to go follow me, because everybody always gets involved in my life. If I need advice for driving, outfit ideas, video requests, everyone gets involved, so it's a fun time over there, and you'll be missing out on a lot. But thank you so much to everybody that's given me advice and support in this time, because I needed it. I had it from my friends and my family and my boyfriend, but I also needed it from you guys, because you're my friends too. So I needed it from everyone, and you were there for me, and I appreciate that more than you will ever know. And I'm here now because you guys helped me, so thank you so much. And without further ado, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to smash a massive thumbs up, and remember to subscribe. And also, if you have any tips as well for anybody with anxiety when learning to drive, please drop them in the comments below, because I'm sure everybody watching this video right now will love to hear them, because you may have different tips to me, and every tip helps. So drop them in the comments down below, and until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.